My guest on the program is the Executive Secretary of the National Agricultural Land Development Agency, Mr. Paul Ikonne. What are farm estates? And how is he going to meet the president's mandate to set them up in all the local government areas in Nigeria? How is he getting young rural men involved in agriculture? What is he doing to convince those that confuse the Estate Farm Initiative for the Rural Grazing Area Settlements, popularly known as RUGA? He tells me this is the major challenge he's facing as he carries out his duties. Please watch this. Honorable Paul Ikonne, welcome to Dateline Abuja.
Thank you very much.
Last year, the president actually directed your agency to set up farm estates in all the senatorial districts. What's the status of that particular project?
We are doing excellently well in that directive. And you know, nothing can be done without land being made available. NALDA does not buy land, but NALDA accepts land donation from the community. As we speak, the integrated farm estate in Borno State is ready for commissioning. That estate is one of the biggest after Daura. We have completed in Imo State total reactivation of an abandoned farm estate, abandoned for 30 years. So the Imo State government made that space available for us, so now they have reactivated it and engaged farmers. Then going forward in Ogun State, we completed the land clearing and access road and establishing boreholes in Ogun State, 100 hectares of land in preparatory to start the construction work of the farm. So that directive of Mr. President is on course. As we receive land from communities and villages, then we implement. You cannot enter into any state without the consent of the governor and the community and without land being provided.
I was going to ask you if you face a little bit of a challenge in that respect, you know, having to work with state governments and whatnot. But before we go into that, just so people can understand, what are farm estates?
Excellent. Farm estate is having everything that has to do with agriculture in one location. Now, for those that don't have housing, we have housing estates inside the integrated farm estate. We have clinic, we have school, so that the children of the farmer will go to good school. They will have good clinic that will attend to their medical needs. We have internet facilities. We have play section. It's a community of its own that has to deal with farming. So that creating an enabling environment, that is what Mr. President has in
So this community is owned by the government, employs locals, I'm guessing?
No, there is no employment. The community that donates the land will also bring the farmers, and these farmers are engaged, so it becomes their property. The farm is allocated to them for crop farming, for animal husbandry.
They don't have to pay?
They don't pay anything, but they generate revenue because the land belongs to them. That land is their own equity. So now that develops it and it engages them into meaningful production, they begin to earn income from it. So it belongs to them. Our own is to develop it. Their own is to manage it and make money from it. And by so doing, we'll achieve food security, which is the desire of Mr. President.
That's interesting. They don't have to pay for water, because I see there are a lot of farms across the country where they give them a hectare each. I know in Kano there's this lovely tomato farm where they give all the farmers a hectare each, but they pay some amount for water supply.
They're not paying for anything.
So the water supply, nothing?
Everything, yes.
When they generate the income, they take all the money, it's theirs?
No, then the off-taker comes, takes off-takes and pay. So the farmers make their money, then the other one is plunged into the farm. So it's like a recycled system. So in order to keep the business, to keep the farm running.
You were supposed to create in all the senatorial districts.
As they provide the land.
So you keep saying that as the state provides the land. So what challenge are you facing in that regard? Are you having states not giving you land for you to do this job?
You know, the land belongs to the communities, but the state is the custodian of the land. So, and the process of land, especially in the south, is not something that you will pick easily. Like in KB State, we have started the construction of the integrated farm estate. It's ongoing. The goat farming is already going there. That section has been completed. In Niger State also, we have started the construction. The animal pens are also ready.
What's the delay?
The delay in terms of construction?
The delay in terms of the state's
land.
Giving,
for them
giving
to,
the, yes.
for them to do the...
What makes them delay? This is a directive from the president. You've been doing this. They can see the success around the country in other parts of the country. What's the delay? Why do you think the state governments are not? Are you saying to us that they don't willingly?
No, they are keying into it.
But that's just 4 or 5.
That have, yes, the ones that have, the ones that are near, that have been completed, like KB is not fully completed. Progress is being made. We are 60%.
So what's the delay in other senatorial districts?
That I won't be able to say because it depends on the state. And let me use my own state, for example, where land was provided and people had to go to court, even in Imo State. So
explain that. Why? What happened?
You know, in some areas, land issues are not something you walk past, and you don't just go in and impose your desire on them. So they need to buy into it and know that this is for them. And the states that have bought into it, they have seen the progress being made. And we're also asking more states. It's for the benefit of the country, for the benefit of the people from that locality. So the people should shave land grabbing. No, and a lot of rumor went out there. And with the commissioning of other states, they are beginning to see.
Tell us some of those rumors. How were you able to counter those rumors? And how much enlightenment are you taking to grassroots? And for those who've never heard of this, you know, how much sensitization is actually going out there?
Yes, you know, let me not use the word opposition. People who are out to misinform people, who are not interested in the progress of Nigerians, went out to say that everything about NALDA has to do with RUGA. That was just misinformation. But when they got the message right, that they shut up. But unfortunately, some people already bought into it. Sensitization is going on. They are seeing progress.
How?
People
What kind of sensitization?
For example, the one completed in Abia, and the rice farm that we did in Abia State as well. So they now saw that this is real. In Imo State, completed, and a lot of trainings and radio jingles are ongoing to inform people. In Ebonyi State, we had to use NYSC land to cultivate. We cultivated 50 hectares on rice farming. So they are beginning to understand that this is actually for them. It wasn't what was being circulated, you know, and the interest is there. So we are looking forward and we are waiting for them, you know, to come forward with land. But based on that, we have gone past them looking for 100 hectares, 50 hectares. It's difficult to see that in one location in most parts of the south. So we're now doing cassava projects. Those women that are already cultivating cassava, they will return their farm, then they will take them further by establishing the cassava processing plants so that we can produce garri and also produce starch from it. So NALDA is engaging women in that. All the states in the southeast, plus in the south, I say, is getting 1,000 women to be engaged in cassava production. So we have, and then in the north, we engage them in greenhouse production. So we're establishing greenhouse in the north, and cassava encourage women to continue with their cassava production and establish cassava processing plants and packaging plants. By so doing, we're no longer looking for a contiguous land in one location, but since they already have their farm, so all we now need to do is to encourage them with the improved stems and fertilizers, and they do the off-taking so that the processing will take place and packaging in order to reduce the cost of garri in the market and then have availability of food and also engage more people in that production.
Well, you obviously have your work cut out for you. It's going to be a very busy year. But I want to thank you, Honorable Ikonne, for being with us on Dateline Abuja.
Thank you.
And good luck with the work that you do.
Thank you so very much. And I'm glad I'm being part of the program.